Hey guys, it's Nice Clips and I'm back with another Degrassi commentary video. Today I'm doing my top 10 Degrassi couples of all time. I'm honestly very shocked that I have not done this video yet, but then again I'm not, because I love being a hater and I love talking about my unpopular opinions, so I have a lot of videos that are like characters I hate and couples I hate. Well, today I'm gonna spread some love and I'm gonna talk about my favorite couples out of the whole show. So I'm going to start off with number 10 and work my way up to number 1. So if you want to see my favorite couple, you gotta stay till the end. And by the way, it's not what a lot of you guys are probably expecting, unless you pay like super close attention to my past videos, and you probably won't expect my favorite couple. Also, I have done a full tier list of all of the Degrassi couples, so I will post that a little bit after I put this video out, just so you guys can see it and make all of your comments about where I place all the couples. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. The couple that I'm going to place at number 10 is going to be Declan and Holly J. Honestly, this one is a little bit tricky though, and here's why. So when I first started watching Degrassi, I just remember being so obsessed with Holly J and Declan. I don't know why, but for some reason I was just obsessed. Like, I thought it was so cute. I was like, oh my gosh, Holly J and Declan, goals. But now I honestly can't remember why I liked them so much. For the purpose of this video, I took it upon myself to rewatch some of their episodes to try and figure it out, but I just cannot put my finger on why I used to be so obsessed with this relationship. I honestly think it's because they have some sort of Wattpad vibe to them, like the player guy who changes his player ways for the one girl that he loves. I guess I liked that dynamic about it. Also, Holly J had such a boring boyfriend before Declan came along, so it was probably just exciting to see her with literally anybody else. Also, it was just super sweet for Holly J, because as we know, she was so mean when she came onto the show, so it was just really cute to see her in a nice, sweet relationship like that. So yeah, there's not really much else to say on that end. I obviously still really like them as a couple, which is why they're on this top 10 list, but for some reason I just remember being so obsessed with them, and it just doesn't really hit the same as it does now as it did back then. Alright, next, at number 9, we have Zoe and Rasha. I think this relationship is so cute. Obviously a super short one, given that it was a next class relationship and didn't even start until Rasha came along in season 3. But for what it was, I thought it was super cute. A lot of people say that it didn't make sense that Zoe ended up being gay. A lot of people say that the writers just kind of like gave her that arc because they didn't know what else to do with her. But I actually disagree, because I hated all of her previous relationships. I hated her with Miles. I thought it made no sense. There was no chemistry. I actually did ship her with Zig. I actually thought that was pretty cute, but I didn't see it going anywhere in the long run, which it didn't. Like, nothing ever ended up happening. So at the end of the day, when she started liking Grace, I was like, okay, I can see this for Zoe. And I actually really loved the dynamic between her and Grace, but as we know, that ship went down in flames. But then came Rasha. I just thought it was so cute how Zoe had a little crush on her and how she was always so flustered around her. I liked, for the most part, that it was a pretty simple relationship, but they also had their troubles along the way as well. Like the episode where they have a little fight at Zoe's mom's wedding. I really like that storyline, and that episode is one of my favorites out of Next Class. But yeah, we're still at the beginning of the list, so not really much to say for these first few couples, but I really just love the simplicity of Zoe and Rasha. And let's not forget how they were prom queens at the end. Super cute. Moving on. The number 8 spot goes to Jay and Manny. A little side note, I realized that Jay and Manny are also from Modern Family. I just thought that was funny. But anyways, I was not expecting to like this couple at all when I first started watching the show. And when I first saw them start to pair up, I was like, what is this? Like, this is not a good match. I don't see these two pairing together well at all. And you would think that Jay, of all people, was like the last thing that Manny needed, because Jay is a character who is very notorious for just ruining people's lives. Like, some of the most egregious stuff on that show was caused by Jay. So Manny, a person who had already been through so much relationship drama, you would think that her with Jay would be the worst pairing on earth. However, it ends up working pretty well. I used to hate the whole fake fiance trope they had going on, but rewatching it, I actually think it's pretty funny. I really like their storyline together in Degrassi Goes Hollywood. Jay is not very caring towards many people, so to see him like that with Manny was just super sweet. The only thing is I just wish they could have had more screen time. I feel like they only had like 3 storylines together, but at the end of the day, this is a couple that just always makes me smile, which is why they're at number 8. All right, coming in at number 7, some of you are probably going to hate me for this pick because I know a lot of you guys hate not only these 2 characters as individuals, but also as a couple. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stand 10 toes down on Maya and Zig because I just love this relationship. Like, the drama, the tension was there, and I usually don't like couples that have a ton of drama. Like, a trend that you guys are gonna notice throughout this video, if you haven't already, is that I like my TV couples nice, simple, and unproblematic, but in some cases I feel a little bit different. And also, one thing that I noticed as I was doing this video was that Zig and Maya are basically Sean and Emma, but as you guys know, I do not like Sean and Emma together. So why do I like Zig and Maya? I honestly don't know. There is no logic to my madness. Like, I like what I like and I hate what I hate. Some of it may not make sense, but here we are. I didn't really like the idea of them together when they were younger for several reasons. First of all, they were just cringe. 2 little kids messing around with each other. Second off, it was just very sneaky, very dumb decisions on both of their parts when they were younger, like going behind Tori's back, and it was just, what are you guys doing? Like, just stay away from each other, please. But the moment I started to like them together was when Zig had his whole character rebrand, and he was like the bad boy who was into the good girl, and he was kind of competing with Miles, who was the spoiled rich kid, to win her over. And I just loved the trope. I loved the dynamic. I was very into it. Like I said, it's basically just Sean and Emma 2.0. Like, literally the same exact storyline happened with them, where it was like the drugs in the locker thing.
There's no drugs in my locker.
He planted those drugs in my locker.
But something about Zig and Maya just gave me the right amount of tension. When he was into the whole drug thing and he moved into Maya's house, come on, like the energy, the will they won't they dynamic, I was here for it, and I just don't know what else to say. Zig was the tough guy who kind of pushed everyone away, but he always had a soft spot for Maya, and I really liked that about them. Now, fast forward to next class, I started to hate them again because Zig was just being stupid again. But once they both kind of grew up and matured, I was like, okay, I like them once again. And it was just very sweet how Zig was always there for her, like, after her attempt. Also, they just looked very cute together. Like, you cannot tell me that this was not a hot couple. Anyways, I'm hoping they got back together off screen, but who knows. Next, at spot number 6, we have our beloved JT and Liberty. I don't even know where to start. I mean, the dynamic is just one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. A little unrequited crush from Liberty ending up blossoming into something so much more. Not so adorable when they were going through all the pregnancy drama. Very tragic stuff went down during that time, but even then, they were still there for each other as best as they could. Like, they did everything with what they were given to try and make it work. And let's just talk about the oatmeal speech to Toby at the end, right before he died. I'm about to cry just thinking about it. So let's move on before I actually start to shed some tears. Next, at number 5, y'all are gonna hate me for this one too, but it is Miles and Tristan. I know a lot of people hate this relationship, but I'm just like, why? Because they were so cute. Well, I know why, because a lot of people hate Tristan, but just walk with me, hear me out, and then we'll move on, okay? So I just thought it was very adorable from day one when Miles came into the show and Tristan had a little crush on him, but Miles never seemed to mind. He didn't hate on Tristan for it or bully him. He was just like, okay, it's fine. You have a crush on me, whatever. And they just become besties afterwards. They're on the basketball team together and whatnot. Fast forward, Miles kisses Tristan because he likes him and everyone's confused, but he's just like, I don't have to explain who I like. like, I like what I like, and that's just that. And I just found that super interesting. Usually when Degrassi has an LGBT character, there's always like a coming out episode or like a whole storyline attached to it. But with Miles, it was just kind of like, hey, he likes guys too, or at least this one guy, and that's that. So I just love Miles's characterization with that. But anyways, this relationship really shined for me in Next Class. From the very first episode where they had all of that tension with the presidential race and the pool house, I was like, oh, okay, I think this is gonna be my new obsession. And I just love how they were always drawn back to each other. Like, no matter what kind of messy situation they were in, they always just found their way back to each other, and they always had love for each other. I just feel like their relationship got more and more mature as it went on. Like, in Next Class, they would go through things, go through their little fights, but they would always maturely talk it through at the end and then make up. They went through a whole accident and coma incident and still came out strong. Like, how many couples can you honestly say could get through that? I don't think a lot. Even the way they broke up in the end was super mature, and you could still see the love from each other. Even Lyle and Eric, who are Tristan and Miles' actors, even they agreed that Tristan and Miles probably end up getting back together in the end. So, like, after Tristan fully got done healing, just imagine him, like, finally joining Miles in Europe and them being together. Okay, number 4 on my list is Jenna and Connor. So cute. I just get so excited every time I rewatch, and the scene where Connor drops all of his stuff and the stupid boy, Becky's brother, is laughing at him, but Jenna is like, actually, no, he's a better guy than you'll ever be. And Connor immediately gets her like flowers and a stuffed animal, and it's just so cute. The first date that they have is just amazing. That one little date was so much more pure and loving than like her entire relationship with Casey. Let's just talk about that. So yeah, there's honestly not really much more to say about Jenna and Connor. They really didn't have that many storylines together. They're more so just one of those simple couples, but that is exactly why I love them. Super unproblematic and super healthy. It's exactly what Jenna needed after that mess of a relationship with Casey. So yeah, if you don't just smile watching this couple, then I don't know what else more to say to convince you. Like, Jenna and Connor are just Jenna and Connor, and that's all you need. Okay guys, so we are about to enter my top 3 relationships out of the whole show, so here we go. At number 3, we have Drew and Bianca. If you saw my Degrassi F-boy video, then you know that Drew was the one that took the crown. I crowned him as Degrassi's biggest F-boy because it's just true. Like, he dated so many girls, but his relationship with Bianca was by far the best. Similarly to Jay and Manny, I was not a big fan of them when they started out. I was not expecting to like this couple at all. Drew was with Ellie at the time they started to mess around with each other, so I was like, what are they doing? Like, this isn't good. Also, Bianca used to bully his brother for being transgender. Literally, what are you two doing together? This is a disaster. But fast forward to season 11, this is where this relationship really starts to kick off. Right from the jump, season 11, episode 1, there is so much messy drama coming up from Bianca's past, and Drew gets mixed up into it. It's very entertaining, but it's also kind of establishing this ride or die type of relationship between the two, and it's just like, oh, okay, maybe this is a solid couple. Maybe they do have some substance rather than just the girl that took him into the boiler room. They do end up breaking up, seeing other people, but the feelings obviously never left because they kiss like they had just been wanting to do that since the very moment they broke up. And from there, the relationship, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just very different from any other relationship I've seen on the show. They just go through a lot of interesting and natural kind of mature couple things together, like Bianca developing a deep relationship with Drew's mom, Drew dropping out of school and them getting engaged, then him coming back to school and her helping him run for president. Like, it was all just very real, and they were always there for each other. Like, Bianca was the only one who saw Drew's potential, and vice versa with Drew to Bianca. It was just amazing to watch. Super sad that they broke up in the end. However, I do agree with the writers having them break up because it's very realistic. Like, I've experienced it firsthand. When you move on to the next stage of your life, you just have to let some things go, and if it's meant to be in the end, then it'll be. Whew. Anyways, let's move on to my second favorite Degrassi couple, Sean and Ellie. So those of you who watch my channel regularly, I'm pretty sure you guys were probably expecting this couple to be number one because I literally just do not shut up about them. Like, I literally made a whole video about them, but they're not quite at number one, so they're right there at number two. I'm not really gonna go in depth on this because, as I just mentioned, I have a whole video about them, so if you want to know why I love them so much, just watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, now for my all-time favorite Degrassi couple, taking the number one spot in my heart, Allie and Dallas. I love them so much and my heart just beats every time I think about this couple, and let me tell you why. So Dallas comes onto the show and he is not the type of guy you would picture Allie with at all, at least not at that point in the show. Maybe like when she was younger, because when she was younger she used to be into the jerks like Johnny and Drew, but Allie season 12, I just feel like Dallas was not her type. But fast forward, she's dating Dave, he walks out on Allie at the dot, and Dallas comes in like a knight in shining armor, and I'm like, wait a minute, what do we have here? Like, what are the writers about to give us? They end up having a little mini pool date and it's very adorable. So obviously Dallas is feeling Allie now. During the spirit week at school, it's so cute how Dallas is like begging Fiona to put him on the same team as Allie, and he's overall just like chasing her, and he just will not give up until he finally wins her over. And I just found that so cute because Allie's boyfriends never used to appreciate her. Like, they never appreciated a beautiful and educated baddie for some reason, and Dallas was the only one who seemed to recognize what an amazing girl she was. However, at this point Dallas was still a little bit of a jerk bully type of guy, and Allie is just like, look, I do not date guys like that, so you need to spend your time trying to get another girl because it's not going to be me. However, he keeps trying, he gets better, and he keeps trying to win her over. And at one point he says something to her that is so cute, and I will never forget it. Like, I always will remember this quote that he said to her.
Well, I don't believe in fate. I believe in hard work, and I'm willing to work very hard for you.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So yeah, I found it so adorable how much he just liked her. And one of the storylines that I really like was when he found out about Allie's ex, Leo, who was very abusive, and he is just completely there for her. He allows her to say what she needs to say to Leo, and he establishes his dominance. He's like, look, I'm here now and you're not going to touch her ever again. Fast forward, Dallas finally wins her over. They have this adorable scene after she wins a science fair and he lifts the trophy in the air like he finally got his prize girl, the best girl ever, and it's just so cute. Like, I don't know what else to say. I just love this dynamic so much. They were just one of the healthiest, most stable couples on the show, and they were in game. So yeah, that is my favorite couple. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think of my choices, and let me know of you guys' top 10 couples. Again, I will be posting like my entire Degrassi couple tier list soon, so just be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.